Welcome to the Daily Increase, the show that gives you tips and ideas on how to improve your life with small, manageable changes. I'm your host, Juan Artigas, and I'll be interviewing influencers in health, wealth, relationships, and personal development who will be sharing their habits that have made them successful. You see, change is never easy and can often seem insurmountable. That's why if you can commit to small, meaningful habits, you will begin to improve your life in ways that you didn't think were even possible. So take a listen and then take action. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hi, everyone. Today I'm joined by Angelique Millis. She is a fitness expert, author, and life coach. Hi, Angelique. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Juan. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. And so go ahead and let us know a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you got into the field that you're in right now.
So my passion for fitness actually started through my own personal transformation. I was able to lose nearly 40 pounds in 5 dress sizes. And through that process and that journey, I realized that this was something that was my passion, And I actually changed careers. I went from being a media broker for a luxury real estate development company to basically learning how to become a personal trainer and taking my experiences and started helping people make healthy changes in their life. And a lot of that starts with just creating a exercise routine, creating healthy habits, learning what to eat, what not to eat. And what helped me a lot with my process in that was food journaling. And not just food journaling, but journaling experiences of what I was going through. Anytime you're making any sort of change in your life, you need to keep account of it. Hold yourself accountable, because there's really no one else that's going to hold you accountable like yourself. And so I realized I had a real passion for helping others through this, and I helped guide them through that process. And I started my own business called Elite Fitness Connection out of Miami, Florida. And it started small, and it was a small business, but a lot of it was through referrals, through friends that had, mentioned to other friends that I was doing personal training and that I had, the experience in that. And then, it evolved into corporate wellness engagements. I actually did a series with Florida Blue where it was I believe it was about 10 or 12-week series where people from the community would come in. We'd do a workout. I'd provide them with information every week of how they can make healthy changes in their life. So that was a really fun thing for me to do. And I actually had a studio for a year. And so it made it easier for me to have people come to me and train in a more private setting. I actually was able to compile all my experience into a book. It's an ebook online called the Fit Success Lifestyle Program. And this is a great place for fitness beginners to start. So I was able to merge both my experience in writing with my passion for fitness, wellness, and motivating others.
Excellent. So let's go back to the point where you were working for the real estate broker and you decided to lose weight. You ultimately ended up losing 40 pounds. What was your call to action moment?
Well, actually, I had started to lose some of the weight a little bit before that. It was just totaling. I have a before and after picture online, and my before picture was taken in college when I had started to really gain that weight. And my aha moment was walking down the street with a couple of my girlfriends and noticing that I was the heaviest one of both of them, and I had put on this weight in a very short amount of time. And I realized that if I didn't start exercising, if I didn't start making a change, that it was going to continue to add up. Yeah, I realized that if I didn't make a change right away, that it was going to continue to add up. So I started exercising. And the hardest part for me, and I feel is the hardest part for a lot of people, is the food. Who doesn't love to eat?
Exactly.
So it really is about moderation. It's really about looking at yourself, seeing what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. Do you have a sweet tooth? That's my case. It's been my case. And I know it's the case for a lot of people. So learning how to really get into a habit of cooking foods at home, bringing your food with you, giving yourself, everything in moderation, having a treat meal a couple times a week. I also feel that food is a very emotional thing for people. We eat when we're happy, we eat when we're sad, when we're stressed. So it was just learning how to change my relationship with food. And little by little, my goals started coming together. And I started losing the weight, and I challenged myself to compete in believe it or not, I competed in a bikini contest. It's called Miss Bikini Universe, and I did it for a couple years in a row. And this was something that I really enjoyed the process of putting my mind to a challenge and knowing that I was in full control of all the food that was going into my body, all the training I was doing, and knowing that it helped really develop a lot of discipline in me that I didn't know that I had. Mm-hmm. And that's what I really gained out of that process. And, this happened all before I decided to become a certified fitness trainer and started helping other people. So that was kind of like what guided me through this, this journey was my own personal journey. So I was able to help people as they go through theirs.
Right. You went from being someone who was overweight to somebody who was very much in shape, and then you wanted to share that experience with everybody else. Yeah. At what point did you realize it went from being something you had to do like a chore to a habit to something you look forward to doing?
Yeah. So I tried every day. I think through my own journey, I never really saw it as a chore. I started really realizing how, the key is with people, they need to find exercise that they enjoy. They have to really learn how their body works. And at first, obviously, it's not going to be easy. It's never easy. You're going to go through pain, and there's really nothing you could do to avoid that. But it was just having that strong mindset to go through it, having a goal for myself, setting small goals as the process went along. That was really key for me. Taking time at the end of each day to go through my goal setting, figure out what I could do better the following week, and also just appreciate the progress that I had that far, along the process of it all. And, whether it meant mixing it up and trying different exercises or taking different classes or even working out with friends. I always wanted to keep it interesting. And, I did start writing everything down and breaking down my goals. I stopped looking at the scale so much because a lot of things, I think women get obsessed with the number on the scale. I started focusing more on how my clothes were fitting. I would take progress photos. That's another really big part of this. It's just, keeping track of yourself every step along the way. And guess what? There's going to always be times that you're going to want to completely fall off of it. You're not going to want to exercise. You're not going to want to train. It's going to be the farthest thing from your mind. And that's okay. But it's just learning to bounce back from that. Learning to also, maximize all the resources you have. If you have access to a gym or a class, or, even if you're at home and you can't make it to a gym, learning how to work out at home, even with your body weight. It's very effective. So, learning to not make excuses was a big part of this as well, because it's so easy to, I'm tired, or I can't make it today, or I have other things I have to take care of. But I actually started feeling better, through the process of it all. I started feeling that I was getting a better grasp of my life in other areas, not just in fitness, but I took those same principles that I used through my actual physical transformation, and I started applying it towards my business, and everything else that I've accomplished, and will continue hopefully to accomplish between after that. So that was really key.
I think you bring up two very important points, which is you need to forgive yourself if you miss a day or if you fall off the wagon, like you said, and also, if you can't make it to the gym or if you can't make it to the workout, just move. Do something at home. Move your body.
Absolutely. You just have to move, keep it moving. I think it was actually Richard Simmons that said that back in the 80s. He's like, I don't care what you do, just move.
There you go.
A lot of people think they need to, I need to do a certain workout, or I have to get this DVD, or I need to go to this certain class. And they make it all or nothing. And it's the shades of gray are okay. And I write about that in my book, that it's okay to have shades of gray, where you have moments where you just don't know, what to do. It can't be an all or nothing approach. It's just about getting creative with what you have and just moving. Yeah. A lot of things that helped me too was visualization, vision boards, a lot of positive affirmations. All those things really help you along the process of this.
I think that's very important. What you mentioned is visioning and envisioning where you want to be before you get there. That kind of helps you set the mindset. So talk about that for a little bit. What does visioning look like for you? How do you put it into practice, and what results do you see?
So yeah, I remember years ago when that book and movie The Secret came out, everyone was talking about law of attraction and vision boards. And I started creating vision boards at that time because I thought it was something, very cool and people had gotten much success from it. And then I started realizing that, maybe I've been doing this all along in my life. I think we all, in some level, have been practicing the law of attraction in some way or other. When you're a little kid, you might sketch things out in a notebook, or you have an idea of things that you want to attract into your life. And then little by little, they start happening. But I did vision boards where I would put photographs or magazine tear-outs or like motivational phrases, anything that would keep me motivated. I would put it on this board. And I remember, every time I make a vision board, it's crazy how about like 75% of the things start manifesting into your life. It's just being very specific in what you're looking for. So I think that was a huge tool and something that I like to do with my clients, like around January, having a vision board party, or a couple times a year getting together with friends and having everyone sit around with magazines and creating that. It's really fun. And then seeing things come to life it's even more fun. So just keeping it in front of your vision every day. Like, the first thing you see when you wake up in the morning in front of your bed. I also am big on the goal setting, writing down goals and then giving myself a time frame to accomplish them. There's a saying, it's a phrase, and it's goals without dreams. Goals without deadlines are only dreams. So if you don't start writing them down and taking an action plan towards them, they just remain like a pipe dream, something that you're going to always think, oh, it'd be nice to do this, but you're not taking action towards it. I'm also really big into affirmations and mantras in the morning, telling myself like, I'm strong, I have energy, I'm motivated, I'm going to have a great day, I'm worth it, have faith, like whatever it is, reminding yourself that throughout the morning is going to help you through challenging times throughout the day.
Absolutely. And those are things that you say in the morning aloud.
Absolutely. You say it aloud. You can even, as you're brushing your teeth, just like after you're brushing your teeth, not while you're brushing your teeth, you could just say it, look in the mirror and just say it out loud a couple times, or even as you're getting ready, just voicing it out loud to the universe that this is like who you are and what you're doing. I am motivated. I am determined. I am strong. I am powerful. Like whatever resonates with you, saying it out loud is going to continue to attract that energy. So that was another thing that I do and I continue to do. Reminding yourself of things that you don't want in your life is another thing. So just like focusing on what you do want and then reminding yourself, hey, I really don't want to feel lazy. I don't want to feel sluggish. I'm going to, get to the gym or work out today, no matter if it means I have to sacrifice something else. So that's another, huge thing that I do to stay motivated. I think motivation is something that definitely comes from within. And I said before, you have to be your number one cheerleader. It's going to be great to have support groups and people around you that are going to support what you're doing. But at the end of the day, you're the one holding yourself accountable. So that's a huge thing for people to start understanding.
Definitely. And I'd like to go back to the vision board. You mentioned earlier about having kind of like a vision board party where you get together with people. I've never heard of that. I think that's a fantastic idea. So talk about what that looks like and how somebody does that.
Oh yeah. So it's awesome. You just have, a few friends come over and have everyone bring magazines and poster boards, tape, glue, whatever they want to bring. And so everyone's kind of sitting around the floor and the couch, maybe you can have like some snacks or glasses of wine. I've done that a couple times. It always makes it interesting, very interesting. No, but it's fun because you get to motivate each other and see like, you kind of get to know your friends in a different way and see like what it is that motivates them. What is it that they're trying to accomplish so that you can help support them in that as well. So you're, taking all these magazine pictures and putting them out on the poster board. And then the words, and you can get creative with that. I think people need to spend more time being creative and expressing themselves artistically. If you want to paint, draw, write, whatever it is, but vision boards is an expression of that. And it's a way that I personally had done that too. I put a couple pictures of fitness models that I wanted, to look like. And then I remember right before the shoot, the competition, I did this photo shoot, and one of the pictures came out almost identical to the way that this model that I had on my vision board, the way her picture looked. So it was like crazy to look back at it, but it's definitely a great visual map, to put your goals, your dreams, your desires on it. Super creative way of doing it. And again, like, you don't really need a bunch of magazines. You could do this alone. You don't have to do it with friends. It's just fun to do it. It's kind of like in a party setting, because there's, everyone's excited about it. They're excited about their goals. And then the key is, once you finish it, putting it somewhere you're going to see it.
Right.
And seeing it, looking at it, once you're seeing, wow, I'm accomplishing some of the stuff on my vision board, this is crazy, go back and put a few extra pictures on there. Like, it's limitless what you could put on that vision board.
I like that. So you're basically updating it as your goals get closer and closer, or as they modify a little bit, just updating your vision board.
Yeah, Juan, I have 3 vision boards in my room right now, just different ones that I've created. And some of the things have come true on them. Some of them have not. So, but I just keep creating them, putting up there, because we could really have whatever we want out there. You have to believe it, and it's going to be on its way. It may not happen in the moment that you think it's going to happen. And I'm a huge believer in divine timing. Everything has like a divine time that's going to happen in your life. But I believe it's just about remembering what it is that you want to accomplish, or the experiences that you want to attract into your life.
Exactly. It helps you stay focused and remind you of what's important. And there's a lot to be said about intention and putting it out into the universe and seeing that come to fruition.
Yes, absolutely. It's awesome to see it come to fruition, and there's really no other way to hold yourself accountable to like what you want, and to remind yourself every day.
So what would be another example, which, by the way, that story about the model and then you taking the picture looking very similar is incredible. What's another example of something that you put on a vision board and it came to happen or came to pass?
Places that you want to go, like if you want to go to a certain city, or you have dreams of places you want to travel to, or you can also put, maybe a love interest that you want to attract into your life. It could be, it's not really limited to just one thing. It's not just limited to, fitness. I used mine a lot for fitness at the beginning, but then I'm like, no, you can have whatever you want. You can have, travel your dreams, the house of your dreams, the career of your dreams, the love life of your dreams, and just like putting really clear pictures and being as specific as possible is another big part of that.
Right. And so you're based out of Los Angeles now. Talk about your move from Miami to LA, the opportunities that brought you there, and kind of what's going on with that.
Yeah. So I moved to LA a few years ago, and it's very, very similar to Miami in some ways, but in other ways, extremely different. And I feel out here, it's definitely a very strong fitness and wellness community, which is great for me. There's lots of opportunity out here for me to collaborate with very like-minded fitness professionals and writers and other people. So it's a great place to come and make your dreams come true. I mean, you can make your dreams come true from any city, but at least in my experience in the field that I'm in, this is definitely the place for me. And, obviously anytime you move somewhere, there's going to be a period of adjustment. You're going to have to adjust, obviously, first of all, there's a 3-hour time adjustment when you're coming. And so it takes like about a week to get used to. And then, making new friends and finding new routines, everything is just like it's a huge blur for a little bit. But, it took me about a good year, believe it or not, to really want to focus being out here. It's something that, took a little bit of a period of adjustment. But once I figured out, specifically what I wanted to do out here, it's been great to see everything start manifesting into my life. The beach is great here. Honestly, I miss the water in Miami, the beaches in Miami.
It's warmer.
Beautiful. It's great. You can go hiking out here. It's just, I feel it's a different consciousness out here. And I'm enjoying the process. I'm enjoying the journey.
So when you moved out to LA, there was a big transition, and you spoke about how it took about a year for you to really settle into kind of your groove. What were some of the habits or things that you did during that year that you found helped you make the adjustments?
Oh yeah. So definitely finding places I can start working out, because I think that I couldn't just not take care of everything that I had worked so hard to build with my body, not just for the looks of it, but honestly, just for how I feel. I wanted to feel healthy and strong. So, getting back into my fitness routine, and also just like making new friends. I got a meetup group, and I found different interests things, of groups that I was interested in learning about, maybe like in spirituality or health or fitness, or just to meet people, because it's, you go your whole life living somewhere and you pretty much know everyone, and it's like it's home, and then you come to another city and it's almost like starting over from scratch. So definitely put myself out there and meet people and network, and Craigslist too, finding different opportunities for, side projects to get onto. I did some things through like casting networks online, and so I started like putting myself out there too for other opportunities, and like, creating fitness videos, and so it's just really, you have to have like a strong mindset of like, this is what my goal is, this is what I want to accomplish, and enjoy the process of it all, because it takes time to build a network of people. It takes time to start really laying like a new life for yourself. So just being patient with yourself in that process is another big part of it.
Right. And that's, again, what the daily increase is about. It's small little changes that you make over time, which lead to big results.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
Angelique, that sounds amazing. And you've had an incredible journey up to this point. You've done some really incredible things. What's something you're working on right now?
Yeah, so I'm in the process of writing a few ebooks online, and I will definitely share more information on that soon, but I'm collaborating with another fantastic fitness expert. And these books will be not just in fitness, but they're also going to be very like self-healing books. They're going to be motivational and more along the lines of like life coaching principles and concepts that people can use to change their lives and transform the way that they live their life. So I'm in the process of working on that. I still offer my online training programs for clients and personal training. So I have personal training clients here, and I also have online training and coaching clients that I work with internationally. So that's something else that I really love, connecting with people from all over the world. So this is something that I also make time for. And I'm working on a couple of other marketing projects as well. So I'm really enjoying my time. I'm always one of these people that needs to have a bunch of different outlets of things to do.
Right.
And, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited about 2017.
Yeah, awesome. And what's writing a book like? What does that process look like for you? Is that something you work on every day, or you block off certain days of the week to do it? How does that work?
That's a great question. It really, I think you have to dedicate a certain amount of time every week to doing that. So you look at your schedule and you carve out a few hours to sit and write. And sometimes you're just writing and writing and writing whatever's coming out and not judging it. Other times you're researching things, but I think it's just like putting yourself to setting really strong goals for yourself. Like, okay, I'm going to write, 20 pages this week, or I'm going to write 10 pages this week about this topic. And then, finding your subtopics, breaking things down. But it's definitely a process. Some days you're more motivated to write than others. Other times you have what's called writer's block. I'm sure you're familiar with that.
Yep.
So when you have writer's block, it's like, oh my God, I can't write anything to save my life, and no one's going to understand what I mean by this. And then you have other times where it all seems to flow, and you're in your groove, you're in the flow of it, and things are just coming through. And I love when that happens. And whenever I have moments like that, if I don't have a commitment, like right after the allotted writing time, I'll just keep myself writing for a few hours. I don't care. I'll just continue to write until I get tired. And, another tip is just make sure you're clicking save on your documents as you're writing. I don't know. The other day I wrote something and I thought, oh my God, this is great. This is awesome. And I don't know what happened, but my computer didn't save it.
Oh no.
And, I was like, oh God, but you know what? There has to be a reason why it didn't save. Maybe next time I go back to this topic, I'm going to write something even better, or something that's going to resonate with more people.
So, I love your positivity. I love your outlook. Most people don't see it that way.
Yeah. But let me tell you, I'm always like, thank God that sometimes it'll automatically save, but sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
So,
Yeah. So it sounds like it's something that you just kind of do fairly routinely, regularly, writing every day. And then sometimes you just have a breakthrough, and sometimes you're just sitting there staring at the screen.
Yeah. You have your moments, if you have a specific topic that you are, really motivated to write about, you're going to just like I said, let it flow and come out. And hey, but if you're staring at the screen, it's okay. Go take a break, go do something else. schedule that time for later if you need to. At least you know that you made the time. You stopped what you were doing. You sat in front of your computer and nothing came out, but that's okay. You can try again later. Like maybe you just need to like raise your vibration, go do something fun, get yourself really into that groove. And I think that we have more power over that than we think. And we have more control over raising our vibration and bringing ourselves to that place where, it becomes fun and effortless. It's called like being in the vortex.
Right.
And it's sometimes we're not in the vortex. We're not in that place, that space of wanting to create and wanting for everything to flow. And that's okay. It's part of being a human. But if you can consciously raise your awareness of that and get yourself into the vortex by raising your vibration, that's when all the miracles start happening and everything starts to flow. So, you can't judge yourself. If you're looking at the blank screen, okay, you know what? Go outside, go watch a movie, go spend some time with some friends, take your mind off of it. You should never see it as a chore. The second you start seeing anything as a chore, you have to change the way you're looking at it. And so that's, whatever you have to do to get yourself back to that positive space, go and have fun and do it. And then when the time is right, like your message will come out.
Exactly. And again, putting it on the vision board, writing it down, putting it in front of you where you can see it helps all those things manifest. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you went from being somebody who felt they were and probably was overweight to being a fitness expert. What would you say to somebody who is in the position you were in a while ago? How can they get started? What can they do to start breaking through those barriers and making gains?
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely like something that they really, really want to change and do. And knowing that they're going to have to put work into it, and knowing that they're like emotionally and physically prepared to like go through the challenge. I think that's the number one thing, is like having them sharpen their mindset of be very clear on what their goal is, be very clear on what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. For some people, the strength might be that they enjoy the taste of broccoli. That's great. So you have to start writing those things down and like kind of like pumping yourself up so that when you go into this process, you have to be strategic. Finding the workout locations that work for you, finding the things. So like creating a routine. And, I said earlier, surrounding yourself with people that are going to support you. I also think finding great online resources or magazines, or even if you can hire a personal trainer for a bit, at least for about 3 months, so they can really lay the foundation out for you and how to properly weight train. So that's going to be a huge investment in yourself. And I tell my clients all the time, I've had clients that I've worked with for years, but I always tell them that, because they enjoy working out with me, they enjoy the process. But I always tell my clients from the beginning, I'm like, listen, I want to teach you how to work out in any gym in the world with whatever equipment you have available to you. Like, I want you to feel empowered enough to walk into anywhere and know what to do. And then after our time together, like, they decide not to want to continue training. Like, they just want to take the tools and run. That's great. I want to know that I positively impacted their journey. So I think everybody needs to definitely learn how to train properly and carve out the time, and then food journal, and then keep yourself motivated. Like I said earlier, downloading new workout music. Music helps a lot with the process. Maybe you need it for when you're doing your cardio or your training. I remember like in the past, like I was able to transform my stress or anger and use it as fuel for my workout. So, you're on the treadmill, and I would use each interval on the treadmill. Like maybe I'd spend like, a minute, or maybe I'd do 0.25 of a mile, milling over a different dilemma or problem in my head, so that I could kind of like use that time to like work towards it, sweat it out, and then at the end, like let it go and come to a resolution for it. So it's a great way to release stress. And think, like I said before, holding yourself accountable, tracking your progress, writing everything down, mixing up your workouts. Those are all things that people should start doing. But I think the desire to do this needs to be there. You're going to have to be patient with yourself. You're going to have to be persistent. It's not going to be easy. And I think knowing that going into it, and knowing that you're going to have to sacrifice certain things to get to your goal, that's a really big part of it too, is being prepared for all the little things that are going to happen along the way.
Absolutely. And I like how you started that off with, it starts with your mindset. And something else that was interesting was you said to write down your kind of like your weaknesses. Like you mentioned earlier, you have a sweet tooth. So starting with that, so you know kind of where your pitfalls are, or where you're going to struggle, putting that down on paper helps identify why you're in the situation you're in.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, there's a saying it takes 21 days to form and change a habit. I think it's closer to 60, but, within that window, it's like you have to be able to write everything down. And like part of that being your strengths, things that you feel you're doing already to lead a healthy life. Like, hey, I drink a lot of water. I love vegetables. I'm sleeping enough. And then writing down things that your weaknesses, like, for instance, like quitting cigarettes. I had to quit cigarettes. Like I used to drink and smoke and like I lead a completely different lifestyle from what I've lived today. And so those are all like other like mini obstacles or big obstacles that you need to overcome in order to get to your ultimate goal of, a healthy and fit lifestyle. So, also some people's weakness might be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to call myself out. I make excuses for everything in the book of why I don't work out. And so that's a weakness that you have to work on. And so I think once you're able to identify those things, you can create an action plan and even openly share it with a friend, openly share it with someone like a workout partner or someone that's in the same track as you. Share this stuff with them so that they're holding you accountable too. But remember, at the end of the day, you're the one who has to hold yourself the most accountable. But it's always great to have someone that's on the same process journey as you.
Exactly. And so how can people reach out to you, get in touch with you, find out more?
Yeah, absolutely. My website is angeliquemillis.com, and my last name is spelled Millis. And they can actually learn about my ebook at www.myfitsuccess.com. And you can reach me right there on my website. And I welcome anyone that has any questions or comments or anything that they want to talk about. I'm here for you. I also offer online training and coaching. I just want to be a great resource for people to get as healthy as possible, be as happy as possible.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that and sharing your story, Angelique. Really appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you, Juan. It was great, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. I'm excited for you for your venture, too. This sounds like a great concept, the daily increase.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. Thanks for listening to the Daily Increase. If you like today's episode, you can find show notes and links to the guest webpage at thedailyincrease.com. As an added bonus, you can also join our mailing list and receive a free report on 4 daily habits you can start doing today to change your life. Please subscribe on iTunes and leave a quality review. Thanks, and start making changes today. We'll see you next time.